Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. So, I saw Transformers Rise of the Beasts about 2 days ago, uh, and I thought it was really good. Um, Start things off, the cinematography in this movie is very good. I will say that I do think this film is shot very well, in my opinion. Um, and there are some genuinely really nice shots in the movie. Uh, and the film has good editing as well. Yeah, I think that this movie, along with Bumblebee, they've definitely improved upon the editing from The Last Night and Age of Extinction. Um, yeah, so glad that the Bayverse movies are no longer canon. Um, the sound and music in the film is very good too. Um, just like all the other movies, this film it definitely gets that um that like Transformers score right. And I think that um like there's one or two songs in the movie, like some tracks, and they're very good. I'll be honest, I don't think that the songs in that are featured in this movie, I don't think they're as good as the songs that were featured in Bumblebee, but with that being said, though, I mean, it was hard to beat the songs that were in Bumblebee. But yeah, I do think that the film, there are some pretty good songs. I think it has a very good score, and of course, we get like the sound design of when like when the Transformers, like, when they transform and stuff. And yeah, I think it's very good. Like, there's very good sound, very good score, and some good songs in there as well. So overall, the sounds and music in the movie is very good. Then there's the visual effects. Now the visual effects in the movie are really good. Um, like um, like the designs of the Transformers. I gotta say, I really love the design, I love all of their designs. I think they look especially compared to the Bayverse movies. They look very accurate to like the cartoons and stuff. So yeah, I thought the film was very good in terms of the visual effects and the character designs and stuff. Um, Speaking of which, the characters. Now, one thing that I absolutely love about this movie is that, unlike the Bayverse movies, this film does not focus all too much on the human character, so thank goodness for that. Because that one thing I hated about the Bayverse movies was that, despite them being called Transformers, they focused like way too much on the human characters, like especially the Last Night. Like, the Last Night in particular focused way too much on the human characters. Um, Now Bumblebee, it did have quite a focus on humans, like, cause a lot of the human characters in Bumblebee, they did get a lot of screen time. But however, thankfully, the human characters in Bumblebee were pretty likable, especially Charlie, the main character. She was great. Uh, so compared to all the Bayverse movies, they actually made the human characters genuinely likable. Um, and in this film, like there's almost a complete lack of focus on human characters. Like they show a good few like human characters throughout like the first act of the film, but I think once the film reaches the second act, though, like, uh, like the film, the film just completely it brushes over like brushed over the humans. Speaking of which, I also mentioned the pace in this movie. The pace in the film is very good. Like I never felt the movie really rushed too much, but I never really felt the film dragged either. I will say my only problem with the pace in this movie is that I felt the first act did kind of focus a little too much on the humans, but I think once we're introduced to all the Autobots, eventually the film just really becomes focused on the Transformers. So yeah, it's great. So anyways, now as for the characters, so really there's only two human characters in this film which the movie really focuses on, Noah and Elena, and in my opinion, they're both really good. I didn't like them quite as much as Charlie, but I thought the two of them, especially Noah, were both genuinely really good characters, and they're definitely better than pretty much any of the human characters from the Bayverse movies. Yeah, I just said it. So yeah, one thing that is great about these film about both this movie along with Bumblebee is that while these movies do show a good bit of human characters as well, they actually find a way to make the human characters likable, especially compared to the Bayverse movies. So thank God for that. So anyway, so that's pretty much it for the human characters. There's a few other human characters, but they're not they kind of disappear once the second act comes around. It's really just Noah and Elena, and they're both very good characters in my opinion. So anyways, moving away from them, now we get on to the Transformers, the titular characters. So first off, for the Autobots, Optimus Prime himself. I mean, what really is there to say about Optimus? He is still just total badass. He's always been. He's the best Autobot by far. I mean, and of course, the great voice performance from Peter Cullen. I mean, no one can voice Optimus quite like he can. Optimus is just great. But then there's Bumblebee. Bumblebee is still a great character. This film doesn't acknowledge the events of Bumblebee at all, which I'll admit is kind of a shame, but I'm not too bothered by it. And yeah, Bumblebee is still very good. He's as cute as ever. Now for like some of the other Autobots, and one thing which this film does way better than the Bayverse movies is that it actually remembers that there are more Autobots than just Optimus and Bumblebee. So, of all the Autobots that aren't Bumblebee or Optimus, the best one by far, the one who gets the most focus, is Mirage. And yeah, I gotta say, Mirage was great. I really liked Mirage. I thought he was quite funny. I loved his chemistry with Noah. And say what you want about Pete Davidson, but he actually did a very good voice performance as Mirage, in my opinion. So yeah, Mirage was just really good. I really liked him. RC was pretty good too. It was great getting to finally properly see her in live action, and um, I feel like she could have had a slight bit more screen time, but overall she was very good. I liked her. Then the other two Autobots, Wheeljack and Stratosphere. They were alright, but I will admit that I do kind of feel like the two of them could have been a bit better in my opinion. But they're not terrible characters either. They're more tolerable than like some of the characters, most of the characters from the Bayverse movies. I'll definitely admit that. Um, so moving away from the Autobots, then we get on to the Maximals. So first off, their leader, Optimus Primal, he was really good. I mean, he can literally transform himself into a gorilla. And not to mention, it's even revealed that he was actually named after Optimus Prime. And like, he clearly shows massive respect for Optimus Prime and stuff. And Primal is just great. I mean, he's voiced by Ron Perlman, so that's not much of a shock, but he was great. I loved him. Then there's Eraser. She can transform into a peregrine falcon. I thought she was very good too. She's voiced by Michelle Yeoh. So that's not much of a surprise. It's great to see Michelle Yeoh is after having a great career after winning so many awards. For Everything Everywhere All at Once. And in my opinion, Eraser was very good. There's also Cheetor and Rhinox. I felt like the two of them could have had a bit more focus as well, but nonetheless, I thought they were very good too. And then there's the Terrorcons, who are like basically the villains of the movie. Now there's really only like 3 Terrorcons. Well, I mean, there's a few like small little ones, but there's 3 main Terrorcons in the movie, and their leader is Scourge, and in my opinion, Scourge is awesome. He's a great villain, and I'm not gonna lie, throughout the film, I actually forgot that it was Peter Dinklage voicing him because, oh my god, Peter Dinklage, he actually sounds unrecognizable as Scourge at times. Now the other 2 Terrorcons, I can't remember their names. They were fine. I do like their appearances. I thought their designs were very cool. I kind of felt like they could have been a bit more developed, honestly. So I wasn't really a huge fan of those 2, but Scourge was awesome though. And we also see Unicron in the movie. Unicron is in the film. And Unicron is just awesome. Like, oh my god, Unicron. I can't wait to see more of Unicron if they make their films, because I mean, they never really properly got to set up Unicron in the Bayverse movies, but we get to properly see Unicron in this movie, and Unicron is just awesome. And thankfully, Unicron is not Earth this time, so yeah, that's great. So yeah, that's in terms of Transformers. So yeah, I thought most of the Transformers in the movie were very good, but I kind of felt like some of them just could have had a bit more focus, a bit more screen time. But nonetheless, most of them were very good and way better than the Transformers from the Bayverse movies. The plot of the movie was good. It has a simple enough story for a Transformers plot where it's like the Transformers, like the Autobots, they have to team up with the Maximals in order to defeat the Terrorcons and stuff, and then of course you've got Noah and Elena involved, and it's a simple enough plot for a Transformers movie, but it's executed pretty well in my opinion. The narrative structure is pretty good too. Like the film mainly focuses on this plot of the Autobots and the Maximals teaming up to defeat the Terrorcons. And we get a few little subplots about different characters. Like I thought most subplots were very good. Like in my opinion, like especially Noah. Noah has his own like subplot in the movie, and I thought his part of the film was very good. So yeah, the film definitely did a great job of making him a genuinely likable character compared to some of the Bayverse movies. So overall, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts is a really good film. And while it's not as good as Bumblebee in my opinion, it's way better than all the Bayverse movies. My only real complaint with this film is that I do kind of wish some characters had gone a bit more focus. But nonetheless, the characters were good, the plot was good, the visual effects, the sounds, the soundtrack, cinematography, the pace. It was all really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm intrigued to see more of these films in the future. So with that, I'm going to give Transformers: Rise of the Beasts an 8 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.